you a woman in medicine feeling overwhelmed and disconnected from the personal fulfillment that you desire? You're in the right place. Join Doctors Joanne and Aaron as they rewrite the rules for women in medicine. Let's begin.
Welcome back to another episode of the Create Meaning in Medicine, rewriting the rules for women physicians. And I'm so excited today because we have a very special guest. His name is Rod Stanley, the owner of Ritual Health and Fitness. And why I'm so excited to have Rod here today is he's actually my personal trainer. I have worked with him, as have multiple family members, over the last almost 2 years. And I just love his expertise. And some of his background is that he's been a seasoned health and wellness expert with over 25 years of experience in fitness coaching, nutrition, and age management medicine. And he's helped everyone from busy professionals to former NBA players transform their health and their lives. And with that, I'm so excited to have you here today to introduce you to my fabulous co-host, Joanne Sotelo, and to find out more about how movement can have a great effect for women physicians and healthcare providers, because I believe it is often something that is very missed, and we can be way too sedentary to have a sustainable career as well as a healthy lifestyle. So with that, welcome to the show.
Thank you for that introduction, Aaron, and thank you, Joanne, for having me on the show. I'm excited to be here today and talk about what I love most, exercise and helping people get into shape.
Rod, thank you so much for being here. I've heard so much about you.
Thank you, Joanne.
Yes, Aaron and I have been friends for many years, and I love to work out. And I'm always like giving her a hard time about it. And I've been like so like grateful that she has you, and that it's so good for all of us to have someone to guide us and inspire us, challenge us. And let me ask you something. Tell us why you love what you do. Tell us about this passion of yours.
Wow. Well, working out, I started working out when I was 19 years old. And I got into it by accident. I was in the Marine Corps and I hurt my back. And of course, the Marine Corps, they're not going to let you just sit on your butt and not work out. So I had to do something to stay in shape. So I started lifting weights. And shortly after that, a few months, I realized that, I could gain muscle pretty quickly. And I fell in love with the sport of working out. And just as I was leaving the Marine Corps, I went to 24 Hour Fitness in Oceanside, California to get a gym membership. And I was asked if I wanted to become a personal trainer. And that was the first time I knew that you could even be a personal trainer for a living. And so I jumped right in, and right away I realized that I could really help people and have an impact on their lives through exercise and nutrition. And it became something that I fell in love with, that feeling of being able to help someone turn their life around. And that's why I continue to do it today. It's been a long road now, 22 years in the business. And I still get that excitement of helping people, move better, feel better, be better. So that's why I continue to do it. My company, Ritual Health and Fitness, is all about helping people, mind, body, and spirit be better.
And that's one of the things I love about working with you, Rod, is it's not just about building big biceps. It's also about healthy nutrition, about balance, about being mindful of, I know I've had some back issues and we've worked around that for almost a year now. And your expertise, what I love about it and why I've actually invited Rod to help partner wellness activities with my local medical society is because his level of expertise is so precise. And that's a word, not perfect, precise. We use that word a lot on this podcast. And you actually have some experience working with a medical office, Rod, and I would love to hear a little bit about that, because I think that also gives your level of expertise so much more depth. And I really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. The medical clinic I worked with was called Synergenics Elite Health, and it was also Synergenics Medical Institute. We brought physicians from all walks of life with different medical specialties in to train them in age management medicine. My job there was working alongside a physician by the name of Dr. Jeffrey Life, a good friend of mine. And what I did there was do the nutrition exercise counseling for each patient. So as our patients came in, it was a long day. It was called an executive health evaluation. It took about 8 hours to conduct the entire evaluation. Before coming to the office, all of the clients would have their laboratory values drawn, And once they arrive at the facility, which was located in Las Vegas, they would come in and I would do a series of tests on them. We would do anthropometric measures such as body weight, blood pressure, run a CIMT scan, which is carotid intima media thickness, to look at disease risk that may be subclinical. We did DEXA scans for bone mineral density as well as body composition. We would do VO2 max testing to look at their cardiovascular performance, as well as to rule out any preclinical heart disease risk. The higher your VO2 max is, the less risk you are for all-cause mortality. So that's why we did that machine as well. And then we did a whole host of strength exercises to look at their physical strength. So we had a wide variety of tests to determine where we could start each patient to help them improve and age better. And the physician that I worked with, Dr. Jeffrey Life, he managed the hormone side of things. So he would, whether if that patient needed testosterone or growth hormone or estrogen, he handled that part. And together we formed a great team of helping people with nutrition, exercise, and hormone optimization.
Wow. That sounds like I want to sign up. I want to have that evaluation and have everyone I know do that. That's impressive.
It sounds like something we do on our cars, right? But when's the last time you did a whole body evaluation and tune-up?
It was a great experience working at that clinic. And what I was able to see is the relationship between exercise and nutrition and how it fit perfectly with different medical specialties. So my goal this year of my company is to create something very similar so we can get pieces of that program into more people's hands. That program was quite expensive. It was about $20,000 per year for people to attend and be a patient. So I've brought pieces of that program here to Salem so that we can administer that to our clients here at Ritual Health and Fitness.
And as you're talking, I was wondering about that too. Of you might be listening and thinking, "Wow, that sounds great. I wish I had that," like I said. And then the second thought might be, but that's super expensive, or who has time for that? Right. And it occurs to me to kind of what you just said of what would be pieces that we could start doing or focusing on, or what would be some options.
But that's a great question. One of the things that we want to do is differentiate how someone should get started. And we can do that through a lot of different ways. One of them is understanding body composition. And understanding your body composition, especially for your audience, females who are in medicine or females in general who hit 35 to 40 years old, they're starting to experience, perimenopause and on into menopause. Bone mineral density is a huge thing to start tracking and stay on top of. So I have a StyQ 3D body scan that is able to measure that and keep track of it over time. So doing something as simple as understanding your body composition, how much muscle mass you have, how much fat mass you have, and how much bone mineral density you have is very important. And that's something that's simple to do, pretty quick, non-invasive. And that's one thing you can do for the body. Another thing that we can do is look at corrective exercise screenings. So looking at how your body performs. So each client that comes into the studio to train with me, we do a series of exercise screenings to look at the function of their body to determine what's going to be the best workout for them. And that's another way to get started as well.
I just want to, I just wrote down notes, kind of the DIY method versus working with an expert. And oftentimes, we've talked about this before on the podcast, Joanne, when women physicians are so smart, so independent, so good at problem solving, a lot of us think, I can figure it out myself. And I tried the hit or miss exercise with all the different things. And I tell you, I never had as good of results as starting to work with you. Within 4 to 6 months, I was so much stronger because I was, showing up about twice a week, doing a little bit on my own. But I had an expert who had spent decades knowing what I needed to. Doing the DIY was not working for me. So I'm glad I finally gave that up and said, no, I'm going to work with an expert, and just happened to be at a Toastmasters meeting with Rod, found out what he did. And I thought, ooh, this sounds like something that physicians and healthcare providers need more of. Let's do a session. And it was, I totally fell in love with the process and recognizing having an expert lead that part of my journey. Number one, it takes it off my plate. and I can rely on their level of expertise. And so often I think that women physicians rely on the DIY, and you might be able to do it, but at what cost? Whether it's time, energy. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Joanne?
Oh, yes. I'm there thinking, yikes, where am I doing that to myself at this moment of my life? And then hearing Rod and be like, am I doing the right exercise? And do I need another DEXA? Right. So, and I'm just and I love working out. And these are probably, I'm a representation of what you as a listener could be thinking of as well, of what's all this. And the excuses, right? And the word excuse has a negative connotation, but it's more of those thoughts that our brain feeds to us that we choose to believe, and pausing and then saying, wait a minute, this is important to me. Where can I start? Who's there to guide me? What are the options? And really making the decision. That's what I'm hearing too.
Yes, absolutely. One of the ways I see my job is being able to shorten the time it takes to get where you want to go. Most people who I meet aren't passionate about working out. In fact, I have to remind myself that most of the people that come to see me hate working out. And
he's met my husband who has worked with him too.
I had a client of mine. I've been training her for about almost 2 years now. And she told me just the other week, she finally is able to come into the gym without having to talk herself into coming inside. And in this entire year and a half, I thought she was loving coming to see me twice a week. But it turns out she wasn't, just because she didn't have an affinity for working out. So one of the things that I pride myself on is, one, getting people more interested in working out, making the workouts fun so they're more enjoyable and you're more likely to do them. And then just shortening that window of getting results. And that's what, the years of being in the industry has given me tools that I've taken bits and pieces of to be able to shorten that time to get results, just like I was able to do with Erin and her family members. So there's a little bit of spinning your wheels oftentimes when going to the gym, because it can be scary and intimidating for a lot of people. It's an uncomfortable environment. So I make it more comfortable so that you can get where you want to go.
You bring up a good point too, Rod, when we joke around about with my husband and I, my son who went into the military, we sent him to Rod to get him ready for boot camp. And so we would, if we were having a dessert and we'd say, is this Rod approved? And be like, I don't think so. Or I'd send a picture to Rod of what we were having for dessert and going, we are totally not eating Rod approved. So you can make it fun, but also the importance of, working with a personal trainer. But also one of the things I'm starting to do is when I'm getting together is inviting my friends to meet me at your gym. So we can have like a meeting with a mission, right? We get to work out together and have a meeting, and we're boosting our well-being instead of sitting and going to a movie or having, a sweet coffee or something like that. So really, if you find difficulty, like Joanne, you said you have a group you have accountability with. With me, I remember in med school, one of my roommates swam every day, and it took, the two roommates would drag me to the gym. I didn't not like it, but I just was never motivated to do it on my own. So that accountability was so important. Joanne, you said you get that from your CrossFit team. I wonder though, some of the excuses that you hear, Rod, about why people can't start it, and how can people find more ways to overcome that?
Yeah, there's a lot of people have barriers to entry when it comes to working out. And a lot of it has to do with mindset. And one of the things we have to work on is the language that people use with themselves about working out. So instead of leaving it with, I don't like working out, maybe you finish that with, I don't like working out, but I'm getting better at it. I'm starting to enjoy it, so that you can overcome those mental barriers. I realized in my early training career when I was in my 20s that there was almost a period of time where people need to wrap their head around what's the mental aspects of getting into working out and what it's going to take to really transform their life for the long term. So incremental steps over time, slowly implementing lifestyle changes, such as it could be something as small as replacing soda with something more healthy, and starting with these small little changes so that you can replace those bad habits with something new, rather than looking at it from, I have to completely overhaul my life tomorrow. And a lot of times that can feel overwhelming. And even when it comes to exercise itself, people will come to me and they'll want to go all in. They want to, lift all the weights today and get in the great best shape. But oftentimes we have to slow walk them into the point where they can lift those heavier weights. And that's an uncomfortable place for a lot of people to be in, especially males, looking at the fact that unable to do a sit-up when they used to be able to do so many things in their younger life. And I help them overcome those mental barriers of feeling like, I can't do this. And I help them walk that and feel like they can do it. So it's a lot of mental barriers. And through time, it's also a transference of energy. So as I work with people more and more, the thoughts I have about exercise and the feelings I have about it starts to, kind of rub off on them in a sense. And they become more passionate and more serious about their working out. And that's just how we, over time, change their lives incrementally, one workout at a time.
I love that, one workout at a time. I have a few comments of like hearing you. First of all, I've seen Erin's biceps. So she has really good biceps, everybody listening. And second, what's a Rod approved dessert?
No desserts. No,
No dessert.
no desserts.
No, we can talk about that. But I wanted to, I'm joking, but I love the analogies, right? This is so beautiful. Erin and I usually talk about the power of coaching, and kind of hearing you say very similar words to how Erin and I talk about coaching right? Like get people interested, especially when we don't know what it entails, and you have some interest, but there's also some fears. Kind of, we always talk about what are those thoughts that are getting in your way, right? Because we have the kind of the frontal thought of, I need to work out, I should be healthier. And then the background thought of, but that's hard. And where do I start? And then I'm going to be sore, and right. All those things that get in the way. And when we recognize that there's some beliefs that get in the way of them saying, and who can I help? And then I heard you also, who can I ask for help? And then also hearing you say, we get leverage, right? And that not everyone gets the same recipe. They're like, how can I make it fun for this person? How can I make it so that what does this person need individually? How can I get them to enjoy it and still give them a little bit of a challenge, which is similar to what Erin and I do in our coaching. And just love that you have that, like, you're speaking to my heart, that like that approach to and I totally agree. If we're not well physically, nothing else matters. That's my mom tells me every morning, I wish you the best health, because without it, we cannot do anything else, right?
Yeah, that's right. My first mentor in personal training, he said to me that the gym was like his church. And at first, when he told me that, I thought, I was a young Christian at the time, and I thought that was kind of blasphemous. But as I moved along in my career, I realized that there's an inseparable relationship between the body, mind, and spirit. And when you work on one, you work on the other. So a lot of the things that we're doing, even though it's physical in nature, it definitely works on the mind and the spirit. So it helps transform some of those thoughts. Sometimes the blockages or tight things that we feel in our body can be from emotional blockages as well as physical blockages. And exercise can help move all of those out. Whenever we start moving, our cells start to release myokines or proteins that cross the blood-brain barrier, so that we start to feel better. And I can't tell you how many times my clients will come into the gym and they're tired, they're working, physicians like Erin, so many different things going on. But after we get through the workout, they notice, like, man, I feel better. I have more energy. And that's one of the things I love about my job, is that exercise is one of the few things that's going to give you more back. It's going to put more energy into your life, which is counterintuitive for people who don't work out consistently. They haven't yet experienced how much better you're going to feel, even though you're expending energy. And it's just great to help people on so many different levels.
And I can attest to that, because I've gone many weeks and months without exercising. And I think it only takes me about 2 or 3 exercise, whether it's jogging, going to the gym, working out with Rod, 2 or 3 times in a week, and my energy level rises. And I know one of the things I ask my clients, my coaching clients in medicine is, what is your level of energy? And on a scale of 1 to 10, it's oftentimes a 2, a 3, a 4, 7, 8s, and 9s. 10s are primarily unheard of. And so I just wondered, you kind of touched on this, Rod, but why do you think it is imperative for women physicians to pay attention to movement and exercise, maybe even more so than women in other professions?
Well, it's very similar to my job in that you want to show up at your very best because this is a profession, your profession, the women profession in medicine, that you want to be your best so that you can give your best to your clients and your patients. And exercise is one of the few things that's going to help you be your best by helping you, one, increase your energy, giving you a more positive outlook and mindset on life. It's going to allow you to be more fit and strong in the face of adversity, because it's also, I think working out is a metaphor for life. The more resistance you can handle in the gym, the more resistance you'll be able to handle in life. So it kind of prepares you for anything that life may present to you. So it's super important for women physicians to be their very best. And I think exercise plays a critical role in that. All the positive benefits with the endorphins and that get released from exercise is huge as well. And it's really, it's like a matter of the heart, right? I love working out, and as I put my heart and passion into working out, and as people come in and they start to get more fit, it allows them to put more of their heart and passion into what they do, because now they have the energy and capacity to do so. And it just goes forward, and we're just paying it forward by I'm sharing what I love, and it allows the women physicians to share more of what they love and help more people do more of what they love. And it's just giving back in that way. So it's super important, not only for an individual level, but also creating more change and in the lives of others as well.
And Rod, I know one of the huge benefits that I get when I work out is by the end of the workout, my creative brain is on fire. So poor
Yes.
Rod, I'm doing my workouts and I'm shooting all these ideas because, as I've shared, we're collaborating together with some wellness events, and my brain is just exploding with creativity. And that's different than if I'm sedentary. I don't get those big bursts of creativity. So do you have other clients who are as crazy as I am when I come to the gym with
I laughed when
creative
you said it,
outbursts?
because once your mind starts going, it's like, yeah, it's hard for me to keep up sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, but no, not like you, Erin. You're unique in that way. I'll be honest. But
I'll have to read some research and see if there's research out there, because I bet that exercise can fuel our creativity and even problem solving, right?
I'm
And
sure that
shifting
it does.
energy. Joanne, maybe your expertise as a psychiatrist and trauma expert, because I'm also learning more about how movement can help get us unstuck from trauma.
That's
And
right.
I'm just fascinated by that.
Yeah. And we can almost have a full episode on that because I've read a lot about it. And, Erin makes fun of me because I do sometimes my little videos and I'm there with my hair all messy and no makeup and glasses. I'm there like, right after my workouts, and then I'll go on a walk and I'm there like, notes from the psychiatrist. And she makes fun of me. And it's because of that. Then it's like,
The
that's
juices are going.
when I
Yeah.
feel the best. It's right after a workout. Now it's hard for me to get out of bed at 4:50 in the morning. And, that's my choice to work out that early because that's how I've decided to protect the working out, right? So that people ask me, how do you do it? How do you work out regularly? And I'm like, I don't think that I wake up super excited to go work out, even though I love it. I'm like, I want to stay in bed. And yet I go. And I think that that's one of the benefits of working out in the morning. I don't there's no room for excuses. I just roll out of bed. I don't think my brain is functioning enough to convince me against it. And then almost always, 99% of the time, I feel better. I joke that there's every now and then there's a workout that I'm like, I wish I hadn't been here, but that's literally
It's very rare, I'm sure.
yeah, exactly. Like once in the last 5 years of working out. And I say, and of course it's kind of figuring out what works for you. It's part of what I'm hearing you say too, because right, again, I share because I'm very passionate about it too. So I share, I wake up in the morning and I do this regularly, and people look at me like, I don't like the word crazy, but that's what came to my mind. Right? Like,
Yes.
how do you do it? And like I say, when I go to CrossFit, I get so many benefits at once. Again, I have a routine. I go to bed early. It gets me out of the house around people, like outside, like I see the sun rising, and I'm in community. I have friends. So that's my leverage. That's what I've learned that helps me stay consistent, because to be honest, it's not just I say that people expect motivation as if it was a pixie dust, and there's really no motivation. We have to generate it. It's the momentum. Anyways, I went on a little tangent
Well,
there.
and I just want to say, because that's pretty intense, Joanne, and I love that about you. And at the same time, I remember coaching a client to take a break at lunch, and even if it was just 5 minutes, get away from your screen, including your phone screen, get out of the office and go for a walk around the building outside. And
Yes.
then they started adding to that and inviting colleagues to go with them. And so now there's this ripple effect. So she's moving her body, getting a break from the screen, so her eyes are having less fatigue. She's getting outside, so getting out in nature, which is helpful, socializing, and making connections with the staff that she supervises. So it's like 5 different things in a simple 5 to 10 minute walk. And when the afternoon comes around, she is now better at her patient interactions because, not in spite of, but because she took that 5 and sometimes 10-minute break. So that might be all you can do. And all of those little things can make a difference to build momentum to go, oh, if I can do it for 5 minutes, could I do it for 10? If I can do it for 10, could I do it for 15? And as Rod said, kind of building from there. So it doesn't have to be anything big like going to CrossFit. It can be as simple as going for a walk or moving your body.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that's part
absolutely.
of what I wanted to ask you, Rod. Sorry to interrupt, but kind of in thinking, because I do have that problem, that because I'm so passionate about it, and then I have to bring myself down and then say, and what can you do? What is a promise that you can make for yourself that you can keep? Is it a 5-minute stretch in your PJs before bedtime, right? So I wanted to ask you, what are some, like, what would be, since, right, like this is your expertise, not just what can we do, but again, I love kind of how you were saying in terms of the mindset, like what would you tell someone, especially us women in medicine, when you hear like, yes, but what would be some inspiring words to get someone started in this process?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. And oftentimes people who come in, they feel the overwhelm of feeling like they have to do 3-4 workouts, 5 times a week of working out, or like you say, in your case, CrossFit. And you really don't. The research is in that 5 minutes, as Aaron mentioned, is enough to build some momentum. And I would encourage some people to look for opportunities to exercise versus a workout. And what I mean by that is something as simple as, when I'm walking through my home and I'm going up the stairs, I'll use my stairs as an opportunity to do a calf stretch. Most people's calves are really tight, and you can just go up the stairs and take a minute to do that stretch while you're going upstairs. Or maybe you have a 5-minute break where you could do 5 push-ups. Anything that you do is going to be beneficial. So look for those opportunities. Maybe it's an old one that we talk about is taking the furthest parking spot away from the building to get a few extra steps in. At the end of the day, we're looking at building lifestyle habits. And one of the habits we want to build is looking for opportunities to exercise. And as we look for those opportunities, they will start to present themselves. And one of the things that I enjoy doing with my work is, as I get clients in and show them different things that their body's capable of, or what they can do, they then learn little techniques and little strategies of exercises that they can implement at home. So it really is about learning your body, learning how it moves, how it should feel, and then it starts to talk to you and let you know, hey, this is a little bit tight. Let me stretch this out. And you start to become more aware of what's going on with your body. And that in and of itself is part of the lifestyle change that we want to create, is just more awareness of our bodies, how they should move, how they should feel. And that knowledge empowers people to take more action as well.
So powerful. Love that. Yeah.
Ron, this has been so good. We'll definitely have you back because I have a million more things that we can talk
Yeah,
and
there's so
that I
much
know,
to cover.
yeah, that I know will benefit each one of us. And my heart is singing here and hearing you approach this in a very individual manner, in a way that people are inspired and they want that, just feel good in life, right? Like you said so many nuggets, and I have like pages of notes, by the way. Like I felt like I was in a lecture. Thank you so much. And kind of your approach of mind, body, and spirit, and how you just, I love how you said help someone turn their life around, right? Isn't that what we're all here for? So thank you.
Absolutely.
And as women in medicine, that's what we stand for, in helping others and serving. And I love that you have that simple approach. So we cannot forget, right? Like there's simple things that we can do. I love that statement of look for opportunities to work out. I that got my mind going too. And if you want to take it to the next level, to have things, I love that of the checking in, like body composition, like a DEXA scan, or all of that, so it's not that overwhelming of all or nothing like we tend to think. And remembering that, having that self-compassion, that of course we're going to have a lot of thoughts and those are barriers for entry, but then the importance of thinking about this as something that you can start small and move forward. So I hope that you are all as inspired as we are, and that we're all excited to, right, like use then also the opportunity of this time of the year to get excited
right.
about movement. And I don't want to just repeat everything you said. I'm just so excited here. Obviously, I'm very passionate about this. So give us like this some wisdom to take home with this topic, Rod.
Yeah, it is we are approaching the new year, and every year at this time, everyone's starting to make those New Year's resolutions. And this year, I was reading some stats the other day. It said that this year, 2024, only 6% of people surveyed continue to work out through the entire year. So 94% of respondents didn't continue on. And those are pretty poor numbers. And I'd like to play a role in changing that this year and helping more people transform. I knew when Aaron and I met, the transformational doc, and my mantra for my company, Move, Inspire, Transform, I knew we had to partner to help people transform lives. And people come to me with different goals. They'll say things like, I want to gain muscle. I want to lose fat, or I want to get in, be able to jump this high. But we're all after some type of transformation. And I want to encourage everyone listening to make this year the year that you decide for yourself to make that transformation stick. Make it stick this year by adopting the healthy habits of looking for those opportunities to exercise, starting small, no matter where you are, and make it happen for yourself in 2025 as we approach the new year.
We all have huge smiles here. I hope that you enjoyed this episode as much as we did. I will go back and listen to it, read my notes. This is definitely one to share with people that you love, that we all need to get more inspired. We definitely need to improve those statistics and stick to our goals because they matter, because they're important. This is about our health, how we show up, and the ripple effect. So if you love this as much as we did, go rate it, give us an honest review, share, and stay tuned because our next episode is coming up.
Do you want exclusive resources and the opportunity to connect with us? Then visit createmeaninginmedicine.com now, where you'll dive deeper into how you can create meaning in medicine. And if you're serious about optimizing your results, take 2 quick steps now. Connect with us on the website and tune in to the next episode.